Well, hi, Irwin.
Hello.
Hi. I was wondering, your band's called the Hoosiers. Have you seen the movie The Hoosiers?
No, none of us have, and we vow never to. Apparently, it was prophesied that if any Hoosier, that's any of us three, watches the film The Hoosiers, the universe as we know it will cease to be.
Sorry, what?
That's if any of us three Hoosiers watches the film The Hoosiers, the universe will implode. So we're not allowed to watch it.
Implode, and where did you get that information from?
Harry Potter told me. We're like that.
Okay. And how far do you and Harry Potter go back?
All the way back to Hogwarts, really. I was his unofficial roommate. I've never actually read a Harry Potter book, so I'm well out of my depth now and really regretting bringing him up. Sorry.
Okay. No, because I was wondering, yeah, Hoosiers, there was people from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
And you were in Indiana?
I was, yeah. Myself and the drummer. We, after spending years of sort of failing in a band back around the Reading area, near the Reading Rock Festival, we then went and ended up getting a football scholarship to the University of Indianapolis, which we kind of thought would be a good way of just, I suppose, running away from the memory of years of painful failure. We were like doing bad jobs, like just shoveling popcorn at a local cinema, trying to make ends meet. And so we went there, and it was a completely different life. And we kind of tried to forget about the band for a bit. But then because we were so bad at football, we ended up kind of being asked to leave anyway. So we figured that the only thing we wanted to do was music, and we couldn't escape that.
Okay. Can we do a little bit a slower version of that?
Okay, so
before you went to America, yeah, you said the years of failure, you called it?
Yeah.
Why? What were you doing when you went to school?
Yeah, I mean, Al and I, we met, that's the drummer, Alfonso, we met in a covers band like about 10 years ago.
What was the band called?
We were called Mist, but with a Y. So M-Y-S-T. And
what kind of music?
we were doing sort of everything that was current, I suppose. I mean, we'd do some 60s songs, some Beatles and Free, 70s. And then we were doing like Britpop as well, a lot of Blur, and some Blue Tones, and anything really that was kind of around, which I think is important for any person in a band, because you have to kind of know how songs work together.
Yeah. What was the best song you thought?
Of what, the best cover?
Yeah.
Maybe Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
And what was so good about it?
It's just a silly, ridiculous, over-the-top kind of song, like the band themselves, and I suppose that's quite fun. But I don't think I enjoyed it so much at the time.
Okay, so at that point, you wanted to make music, or you thought, nah, I just wanted to get out of it?
Yeah, well, I think it started off as a lot of fun. And it was just something to kind of, I suppose, something that we felt we could do. And maybe it starts out, being honest, that you just want people to like you for it, or something like that. You see other people doing it, and they get all the adulation. So maybe when you're like, 15, you're like, yeah, I want to be in a band. Who doesn't want to be in a band when you're 15?
For the girls.
Yeah, all that stuff. And then after a couple of years, when you realise that's never going to happen, I think that's generally the time most people give up. And for us, it just slowly, particularly with Al and myself, we were the only two who really, it really became like an addiction, and we couldn't leave it behind. And it soon became all we wanted to do, even though we're like the least musical people, naturally, I think. There were always people at school who were so much better. And even then, we felt like we weren't qualified to be in a band. But that's the good thing about music is, if people as talentless as us can have a career in music, then there's hope for us all.